Success is happiness.
Realization.
Legacy.
So with audio engineering, with music, I try to create a unique sound. Something that you haven't heard before. You've heard something similar, but it's not the same, and it makes you want to listen.
Breakfast Lunch Dinner was started by myself and my good friends Jeff, Q, and Josh. And the four of us got together many years ago and really wanted to create a Hartford that we felt we can have fun in and we can be represented in, and for other people to be represented in.
We are the voice that the community really trusts to advocate, to inform, to prepare. And so we are that vehicle of information, not just for businesses, but in terms of politics, in terms of just everyday things that impact our communities.
I call it going from ideation to implementation. You have an idea, you think about it, and then you're able to have the resources and the wherewithal necessary to implement that goal.
I am responsible for my father's legacy and also my mother's legacy. And so I have to protect the integrity of what they've created, what they've fostered, what they've continued, in addition to supporting my vision of what we have to move it forward.
Getting feedback of people saying that I'm helping them through the day, but also being able to take care of myself. I think I owe everything, or everybody owes everything to where they were raised. I wouldn't be the same if I wasn't raised in East Hartford, if I wasn't doubted, if there wasn't this crazy competitive energy that's just propagating something great. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
The gauge for if what I'm doing is effective, to me, is based on the response in Hartford, based on whether or not readers are excited to grab the paper from me, whether or not I get an email or a phone call about something that was particularly in that edition.
So Hartford has allowed us to really take a stand in promoting and developing and shining light on all the cool things. And I think in doing so, Hartford has shaped how we come across and how we build this work as an organization.
I think one of the most frustrating challenges I face is just being dismissed. You're Black, you're dismissed. You're female, you're dismissed, and then you have someone like me who's young in all three components. I feel like it's disrespectful, particularly when it's done by Black men, which most often it is done by Black men.
People look at Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner and the work that we're trying to do as a hobby, or as some kids over there having a good time. And I think that's a bit about, age, a bit about race. I mean, I look like the community that I work in, and that's been a huge benefit.
Hartford doesn't do a good job of supporting its own. And I don't just want to narrow that to Hartford. I feel like Black communities are not that supportive of each other. We don't necessarily stick together as our counterparts do.
I feel as if living in Hartford or living in Hartford County or living in East Hartford has cultivated me into being a competitive person where my only options are either do it or I fail. So when I do something, I have to do it great. I have to do it on a bigger scale in order to be recognized or for people to really pay attention.
I didn't know, and not to say it didn't exist, but I didn't know of any young Black entrepreneurs in Hartford dealing with arts and culture in a way that we're trying to formalize and honor the dopeness of DJing, the dopeness of rap music, the dopeness of, good parties. That deserves to be there with anything happening in any other parts of Hartford culturally. There's nothing I'm doing that I think I'll be able to realize in my own lifetime. But I like that because I know that I always have something to work on, and because it's such a large problem, I always have the opportunity to bring different people together.
Have I achieved my plateau of where my succession is going to end? No. There's continuing to be new challenges because with each level of success, you're presented with new problems, new growing pains, and you have to adjust to that.
I feel like if I got the opportunity on a much higher scale to showcase my talent, that I could be where I want to be faster. But I'm ready to go now. I'm just not where I want to be at all. But I'm seeing improvements, which is big for me. It's making me more confident. which is hard to do. But it's making me more confident. It's awesome. It's awesome.